Hey guys, welcome to the post game. The Jazz just picked up a win that they really needed at the Milwaukee Bucks today. Absolutely amazing, just really great overall team performance. The Bucks are known for protecting the paint and making sure that you do not get shots inside. So what did the Jazz do? They let Clarkson and Conley and Bojan and Mitchell just all go at it from three. And don't forget Royce O'Neal. He's had some really rough stretches to start the season off, mainly just from doing ISO guarding. But holy Hannah, he was a team high 6 for 8 from three. Conley was 5 for 10 from three. Mitchell was 4 for 6. Let's not forget Clarkson, who was 5 for 12. So just absolutely amazing. Jazz set a franchise record with 25 3-point makes. They set that last August, I believe, in the previous season. And this year they almost got it. I can't remember who they were playing, but they got close. So just overall, really great bounce back game. Joe Ingles wasn't on the court. That was mainly due to just wear and tear. I'm sure I'm not actually positive what the specific injury was that did break his NBA longest Ironman. So he's now back to zero on how many games he's played in a row. So I'm interested to see if that'll kind of get him juiced. If for whatever reason he's been playing through some stuff he maybe shouldn't be playing through, and now that he was able to just kind of get that record off his shoulders and just move on towards playing basketball. I don't think we're going to see Joe get anywhere near the 300 or 400 plus games that he was at again in his career with where he's at. So sad streak to see lost. Hopefully though, it helps him be the best basketball player that he can be. So overall, just super happy about today. It did stink that Giannis had that hard fall in the third quarter that definitely allowed the Jazz to seal up the game just a lot more soundly, since he wasn't able to play nearly as strong as he was in the first quarter. But I don't think that really impacted the outcome in the end, because the Jazz really were able to lock down Giannis in the second quarter. So other noticeable things to see in the box score: all the Jazz starters, except for Mike Conley, were in the positive and plus minus. I don't know how Conley ended up being -1, but it's a win. I'll take it. He got 17 points. Leading scorers go as follows: Donovan Mitchell with a season, actually, I don't know if that's a season high, with 32 points. Clarkson following up from behind with 26. Then you have Bojan, who got 20. O'Neal, who got 18 on his aforementioned 6 threes. And Conley with 17. So just overall solid performance from the starters and the sixth man. Gobert ended with 9, but there was an offensive goaltend that, in my opinion, should not have been called. So that would have been another assist for Donovan, and it would have been 2 more points for Gobert. So Corbin Brown's on stream. He says, hi, thank you so much for joining us. If you guys, anyone on stream, if you could leave a like, that would be awesome. It just really helps us out to get more traffic to the live stream when it's happening. So please feel free to drop in chat. What are your major takeaways from this game, and what was your favorite part? What happened here, and the main reason why I think the Jazz were able to go and hit those 25 3-point shots is, I mean, the Bucks don't guard 3-point shots, which is why you're able to get 50 plus off and hit almost half of them. So when you rewind and look at games where the Jazz have struggled in this year, it's been when they've just been like the defense has been right up on them. The Suns just get up right in your grill. OKC got up right in your grill. The Nets didn't give the Jazz open shots. So I feel like this win is more of a moral victory against a really good team than it being something that showed the Jazz fixing a lot of problems just because the way the Jazz play offense. Sorry about that. The way the Jazz play offense um, just is the perfect counter to the way that the Bucks play defense. So, hello to Laura Bates and James H. Thank you for joining in on the live stream. We really appreciate it. Yeah, James H. The Jazz did hit threes. Like, this game was amazing. I don't know if we're going to see another game like it this year, but just a great moral victory at the very minimum for the Jazz, where they go in a stretch where they're going to play, not necessarily in this order, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Detroit Pistons, and the Washington Wizards to end their road trip before they play the Atlanta Hawks. So I'm really hopeful that the Jazz do take this and win 3-4 games in a row. They've only won back-to-back, and that was Clippers Spurs. So to see them come off their back-to-back losses, beat the Bucks, and then go and handle teams that, while they definitely have some solid players, and Cleveland is just doing some amazing stuff when it comes to the number of turnovers they're forcing, which will be a great check to see how the Jazz are doing better with keeping the ball and not turning it over, when Cleveland, I think, is forcing a turnover on one of every 5 possessions. So that's definitely a game to watch and see what happens. So yeah, James H says in the chat, the Bucks really did not look good at all, and the Jazz took advantage of that. They didn't. The Jazz definitely did have to take advantage of it, though, because up until the fourth quarter, it was pretty much less than double digits. The Jazz might have crossed that line, but the Bucks were staying in it and staying in it. And when you have players like Giannis and Drew Holiday, there's just always that chance that they're going to come back and just go on a run and take that lead away from the Jazz. So after a back and forth first quarter, and after what was my least favorite play of the game, which was not guarding Giannis at all as he went for his buzzer beating off the backboard 3-pointer to take it from a 10-point game to a 7-point game at the half. But other than that, they just really did everything right in this game to win it and to be able to push that lead out and have it be a really convincing win. So I'm sorry, just trying to get caught up in the chat. So honestly, I'm just super happy about today's outcome. And I've probably said that a lot, but I was gearing up today, ready to cover third Jazz loss in a row against a really good team, a loss that you don't want to see because you want the Jazz to be winning. And after they lost a couple games in New York that they should have won, not should have won, but should have been more competitive in. I think that that's really what it comes down to. The Nets was an absolute travesty, and the Knicks was just really disappointing. One thing, as long as the chat's not popping off, that I have kind of noticed, though, is the Jazz, whenever there seems to be something super political going on outside of the NBA, seem to kind of suffer for, or I don't even want to say political outside of the NBA. Whenever there's just outside news that's really hard and really challenging, the Jazz seem to struggle. I can't remember who they lost to after Kobe Bryant's death in 2020. May he rest in peace. But they really weren't able to show up just the way you expected them to. I do think the beginning of the bubble was really hard for the Jazz. And I think, I can't remember exactly, but after the playoff games were boycotted, I do believe that's when the Jazz started being on the wrong side of history in the Nuggets coming back from 3-1. And then with I don't want to get these facts right, but I do want to get my facts right. I don't want to get these facts wrong. But with the Blake shooting in Wisconsin, verdict coming through, and also with the attack on Capitol Hill, with that happening, that didn't necessarily put the Jazz in a great position to be as focused as you want them to be on basketball. And while that is their job, I definitely don't fault them. I know that on days like that, I'm not nearly as focused. When, as small as it is, when Kobe Bryant died on that day, like I could not get all the homework done that I needed to on that day. So I am hopeful that that was why the Jazz struggled in part, and to see them push through that, and be able to continue being the spokespeople that they are and highlight the issues that are important to them, but also be able to perform on the basketball court, albeit that is much less important than the other issues that are being handled. So, see, I think that we're pretty much caught up on the chat. It looks like it was a slow night there. If you have anything you want to drop right now, please drop it, and we'll definitely get to that before we end the live stream. If not, comment in this video. We're going to be active. It's 8:40 Mountain Time right now, so we'll be active up until 9:30, 9:40 Mountain Time tonight. Also, please tune in and watch for our videos tomorrow. We're going to come out with one or two for our Saturday podcast roundup. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, we are almost at 200 subscribers. If you can help us hit that 200 subscriber mark on our quest to 1,000 by the end of the season, that would be greatly appreciated. I've been stumbling over myself all stream. Sorry about that. I'm working on improving that, but thank you so much for joining. Go Jazz, and we'll see you Sunday. We'll see you tomorrow for our podcast and Sunday for our post-game review. Have a great night. Oh, wait. Well, now I feel this is awkward. So Braun Bullock said, I feel like the Jazz play with more intensity against tougher teams and don't always play as hard against easier teams. Thoughts? So sorry for the whole wind down and then back into it. So I think what the Jazz do isn't necessarily play harder against better teams. I feel like they're just really dependent on having a good start to the game. And if they don't have a good start, it's really hard for them to get back into it and win it. What the Jazz struggle to do with, even I feel like in this game, is just play with excitement right now, which I don't know how you fix that when you had players like Ricky Rubio and Jay Crowder, who, no matter how much you disliked their shooting ability at times, they would just always bring a very high level of energy to the court. And right now, who do the Jazz really have to do that? Like Jordan Clarkson probably brings the most energy. I do think that what really helped the Jazz have a lot of energy tonight was being so hot from three. So there definitely is some concern about, do the Jazz take teams seriously? I think a great example of that is going 0-3 pre-bubble last year against the Spurs. But overall, I'd say my main concern is just a lack of energy if they don't get started off hot. And if I were to look for anyone to bring in, it would be someone who just brings that that just energy, that desire to play, whether it's through just being physical or just having an insane amount of hustle. I believe that that would really help the Jazz out overall. So that's to Braun. That's what I think. We have step back with Z. Why do you think Donovan does good against good teams and poorly against non-contender teams? And how do you think he can step it up? I think Donovan has just sucked all season, to be honest. Like, not that he's a bad player. I think he's just had a really rough season up until this game. There was maybe one or two games that he did perform in. But overall, he just has been really struggling on his. So there's two types of 3-point shots that you can take. There's the catch and shoot or assisted three. And then the other 3-point is off the bounce three. His stats on that have been abysmal this season. He was hitting like 50+%, I think, in the series against the Nuggets, which just unheard of numbers. You're never going to see that happen over an extended period of time. But he's been just absolutely abysmal. I don't have the stats pulled up right in front of me. I think overall he's just struggled at the rim and struggled creating his own 3-point shots. So I think he's just been cold, or just out of rhythm, whatever you want to call it. But I think that this game is a good step towards him getting his rhythm back. I don't necessarily think it's been against contenders or against non-contenders. I think it's just been him really struggling to start this season off. And I wonder if that's in part to him just feeling the expectations and the burden that he has on his shoulders and not being able to capitalize. Hopefully he's able to push that off and just play basketball and be the player that we know and love. So that's my hope right there. Okay. I think now we're good in the chat. Sorry for giving my whole oh, wait. Okay. So we're going to wrap it up tonight. Please keep it going in the comments. The live chat disappears after we close this recording. But if you keep it going in the comments, we'll have a lot of fun. And it also helps more people find our video so that we can be able to pump out more videos. So thanks so much for watching and hope you guys all have a great night.